Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight. Monday, March the 8th, 2013, of course, the aftermath of WrestleMania at the Odds-On Center in New Jersey. All I gotta say is, wow. Probably one of the best Raws I've seen in a while, and I'm gonna probably echo a lot of people. The crowd tonight was fucking excellent. Oh my god, it's probably one of the best crowds I've ever seen in a while. It made this War a lot of fun. And I'm gonna mention a lot of things about the crowd, about what they said during a lot of matches. We had two new champions crowned tonight, including a championship we thought was gonna change last night, and that we've been finally waiting on for months and months and months. Probably see the title of this video, you probably already know what I'm talking about. So, got a lot to get through, especially the U of M game playing right now as I'm making this video. So let's get started with, well, unfortunately, the new WWE Champion, John Cena. And by the way, before we get to Cena's segment, cannot believe the WWE did this with a rewrite after The Rock was a no-show tonight. Of course, The Rock, I thought, if you didn't see my attack on it, I thought Rock was just skipping just promote his new fucking movie, but I found out later on that he had an injury during the match with Cena, so he had to take off. And despite that rewrite, Raw was actually pretty damn good. The main event sucked, but the ending was kind of cool. It could sense a feud coming up. So we had John Cena coming out, and I thought the crowd booed his ass last night. I mean, if you didn't see my Mania review as well, I thought Cena got his ass booed. I thought last night was the loudest I've heard Cena boo. I think it was the loudest I've heard him boo ever tonight in New Jersey. He got his ass booed, and once again got booing. Second week in a row that a Cena chant had a booing chant. Now, Cena came out trying to joke with the crowd. He's like, I'm chained in WWE's ball because I cannot break free and be a heel, so I have to just pretend not to be bothered by your chants. You know what I mean? Because you can see by his promo, he's like, this is my post-Mania celebration. Where's the cheer? So, come on, Cena. You want to embrace that hurt. You want to break that ball and chain, but I've said it once, and I've said it 1,000 times. WWE doesn't have the balls to make Cena heel. Because like I said, Cena's one of their biggest moneymakers. Hey, if WCW could turn Hulk Hogan heel to found the NWO, I'm surprised they didn't chant that tonight, the crowd. Out of many things, especially doing Sheamus and Orton. Surprised they didn't chant NWO, but anyway, and Cena was blabbing on and on about him being the champion and saying, unlike Rock, who's not here, I am here and I want to fight tonight. I didn't hear the same old shit chant from what I'm reading from people, but Cena's like, I want to fight tonight for the championship. So here comes Mark Henry. And this is the first of many awesome crowd chants tonight when they chanted, sexual chocolate, sexual chocolate. I haven't heard that chant in a while. They used to do that a lot, but I'm glad they chanted it again. They're in New Jersey. And then Cena's like, you want to eat sexual chocolate, huh? Then especially after they chanted feed me more later. You know, that's when Cena said that feed. So anyway, as Mark Henry's like, I don't care what the number contender is. I want to be the next contender for the WWE Championship. That's when Booker T, the WWE Hall of Famer, even though it didn't say on his graphic, mostly focused on being a GM of SmackDown, came on the screen and said that, well, Mark Henry, technically you're not the number one contender. The Rock is. The Rock does get a rematch. But I said on my attack line and I said that Rock is supposed to be at Extreme Rules. Unfortunately, Rock Cena 3 may come sooner than we think. Extreme Rules and not WrestleMania 30. I said in my main review as well, I was like, Cena Rock 3, I knew that was going to fucking happen. The woman match, I knew that was going to happen. I had an inkling that was going to happen. I thought it was going to be till WrestleMania 30. Spoke too soon, maybe Extreme Rules. Anyway, so Mark Henry, although he's not technically a number one contender, Booker's like, you want a shot? You will get a shot, Booker. Mark Henry, you will get a shot at the title if you beat John Cena tonight. So Mark Henry, John Cena would fight tonight, but non-title. So you got Mark Henry, Cena, main event tonight, and of course, with title implication if Mark Henry were to win tonight's main event. Now, on to action, which involved the first, two trying Raw debuts tonight. First things first, because at the in-ring singles debut of Biggie Langston taking on Daniel Bryan, of course, both the respected tag partners Dolph Ziggler and Kane at ringside. The match was nothing special. The kickoff was kind of a short match. Biggie Langston didn't show that much in the ring. He just tossed Daniel Bryan around like a rag down and didn't do much technical wrestling. With a little help from AJ and Ziggler, of course, Biggie kind of got the victory as AJ was respecting the referee. Daniel Bryan, a lot of Daniel Bryan chants. Bryan, he was on the top rope trying to do something with AJ respecting the referee, and Dolph Ziggler kind of low-blowed Bryan on the turnbuckle. And after that, Big E tossed him onto Kane. I thought Daniel was trying to fly into Ziggler, but accidentally flew into Kane. But it was Big E who tossed Daniel into Kane. And after that, Daniel Bryan, still woozy after that toss, got thrown back in the ring, got the big ending, and a 1-2-3 victory for Big E in his first match. Not that long of a match, at least about 2 minutes. So there you go. Big E Langston, his in-ring debut. We would finally see Fandango, or at least try to attempt his Raw in-ring debut, as we would see later on this evening. So Big E Langston wins. Of course, this wouldn't be the last. We would see Dolph Ziggler. Speaking of championship changes, with our first championship of the night, kind of a championship change, of course, The Miz defending his IC championship in a rematch against Wade Barrett. Now, they proved once and for all that this match should have been on the main pay-per-view last night, not the fucking pre-show. It was a great match, and poor Barrett, this is probably why, because a lot of people probably came from other countries. They were at Mania last night, so they must have stayed for the pay-per-view. That's why I get a lot of Barrett chants, because probably a lot of English people who came to travel to see Mania probably stayed for the Raw after as well. So, like a lot of Barrett chants, a lot of poor Barrett chants. It was a pretty decent match, kind of a back-and-forth match. Like I said, proving why this match should have been a pregame. But if, I'll say it in a moment. But Miz was trying to gain momentum after an early advantage, but of course Barrett was dominant throughout the second half of the match, really beating the crap out of Miz at ringside, especially with that big move before the commercial break, with a big neck breaker, and Barrett was taking advantage with the crowd connecting to Barrett. But then Miz tried at least 1 or 2 attempts at the figure 4, and Wade almost tapped that again, but Wade did get to the rope break the second time. After that, as Miz was trying to go for a big move, Barrett got out of it. And as he bashed Miz's old skull to the plank post, getting his own little skull crushing finale, leading towards, of course, the Bohemian Hammer elbow, and a 1-2-3 victory. Miz's championship reign only lasted a day, and Wade Barrett retained the title. Why would you have Miz win the title during the pregame, only to have him lose to Wade Barrett the next day? That's kind of weird, but hey, we have a new IC champion. Wade Barrett wins the title back after only losing it for only a day. So there you go. Wade Barrett gets the victory and regains the Intercontinental Championship. Now, on with, of course, probably the moment of the night, which everyone is going to talk about for days and days. I said there was 2 title changes. Well, here's the second title change. It came out of the handicap match with Alberto Del Rio taking on Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger. Now I had an about this, and of course my prediction, as we all know, came true. That I was thinking, hey, this handicap match, Alberto was going to get the crap beat out of during this match, and then somebody would do something after the match involving a briefcase. Well, that happened. Before we get to that moment, with a lot of fans chanting it, of course, we won Ziggler chants throughout the night, especially during this match. The handicap match basically was kind of a one-on-one match. Jack Swagger and I kind of knew that game plan. It was like Swagger was going to beat the crap out of a Bono, and then Zeb Coulter would get the tag and try to pin Bono. Although, of course, Zeb Coulter, I haven't mentioned this, but of course, Zeb Coulter is a.k.a. Zebediah, a.k.a. But Dutch Mantel, old school wrestler, who did get tagged in only on the WWE app, and try to beat up that no good egg sucker dog, Alberto Del Rio. Learned that after watching old Dutch Mantel matches with a man that the New Jersey fans chanted tonight, Macho Man Randy Savage back in the Mid-South days. Thank you, YouTube. Anyway, then Jack Swagger got back in, and Jack really focused on a bad knee of Alberto, putting him in the ankle lock, aka the Patriot Act, at least 2 times, ravaging Alberto's knee, and that knee was damaged throughout the match, being in towards Swagger. Despite that, Alberto fought through the pain, and even Alberto even countered the Patriot Act to the cross-arm breaker for the first time, but then Swagger got out of it using the bad knee. But after another cross-arm breaker, that's what nailed it. Alberto nailed another cross-arm breaker, 1, 2, 3 victory, tapping out for Swagger, and Alberto gets the victory. I thought Swagger Coach was going to attack Alberto after the match, but Alberto was still writhing in pain with this bad knee bothering him. And as EMTs was attending to him, here's the moment we've all been waiting for. Dolph Ziggler came out, the crowd went berserk. He was cashing in money in the bank, and it felt like it was going to be over in an instant with this big move. But Alberto kicked out, and Alberto did have some fight in him in this impromptu matchup. And it felt like Alberto was going to get the victory and to retain the title, and Ziggler was going to be the second guy to not get the championship after cashing in Money in the Bank a la John Cena. He even got put in a cross-arm breaker at one time. I thought AJ and Big E was going to interfere, but they didn't. But that cross-arm breaker attempt, Dolph used the bad knee to get out of it. Got out of it. Nailed the zigzag. 1, 2, 3. Finally, find a motherfucking lead. Dolph Ziggler is the new World Heavyweight Championship. As he said tonight, about damn time. I really said for weeks, you probably see me on Raw every week, is Dolph ever going to cash in Money in the Bank? I thought AJ and Big E were just baggage to Dolph, but Dolph finally cashed in the Money in the Bank tonight, and is finally the new World Heavyweight Champion. Hope he has a good reign, especially with Cena now being the new WWE Champion. At least we have a champion we can be happy for. Dolph Ziggler being the new World Heavyweight Champion after all this damn time. And the crowd went berserk, and I went berserk. I marked the fuck out after Ziggler. When Ziggler finally made his real in-ring debut, like in 09 or something, I can see the potential in him. I can really see the potential of him being a big star. And he's had a big year, and now finally he is the new World Heavyweight Champion. About damn time. He didn't cash in during Mania. Kind of disappointed about that, but you know what? He got the cash in on the wall after Mania. Like he said, last night was Mania, but tonight was my WrestleMania. But speaking of things that happened at Mania, in the next segment was The Undertaker coming out to, of course, try to talk about his victory over CM Punk. As he was talking about dedicating the match to Paul Bearer, of all people, the Shield interrupted. Well, no surprise, because Shield is Paul Heyman guys. So it's like, hey, we're the hounds of justice. It was an injustice that our guy, that our Paul Heyman dude, CM Punk, lost last night. So they're about to attack Taker. But then here comes Kane and Daniel Bryan to even up the odds, but the Shield cleared the ring. That could be a great 6-man tag right there. Kane and D. Bryan and Taker against the Shield. That'd be very interesting to see that match happen. Maybe it'll take place next week. Who knows? Depending on when Taker wants to wrestle again. So we'll see what happens with that possible match. I hope that match actually happens this year. Taker teaming up with D. Bryan and Kane against the Shield. That would be a good match to see. That'd be very interesting. Now, on with our next scenario, which was a 6-man tag with the Job Squad. I mean, the 3MB. Taking on Santino Marella, Zack Ryder, and R-Truth. Finally, Zack Ryder gets a win for once. Although it was Santino who got the victory with the Cobra. After a block, he got it in. Zack Ryder got some movement in. But it was another typical 3MB loss. And that's more embarrassing than lose to anybody, but to lose to Zack Ryder and Santino, wow. At least Zack Ryder was in a match in New Jersey despite not wrestling Ziggler. What happened to that match? WWE. They made it like a year ago. Ziggler, Ryder for the Internet Championship. Never happened, as we all know. So there you go. 3MB loses to Santino, R-Truth, and Ryder. Let's see. Ryder, though. Here we go. That's the next match. Now on with our next scenario. Kind of a fuck-up move on the part of WWE. Sheamus and Orton, of course, won an event on the Big Show. Sheamus won in a match. Orton won a match. They both went to both GMs, Vicky and Booker. And they were like arguing about it. And it came out. Now they had a poll WWE active about who should face Big Show, but that poll was actually squashed when it said, let's just fight each other. Like when Becky and Booker T came out saying, fuck the poll, let's just have a match. Now have the fans decide. So that's kind of stupid. But here's when things get really heated with the fans. Oh my god, this match was boring. This Sheamus old match, they wrestled the Royal Rumble a few years ago. That was a sucky match. And unfortunately, it was the same way. They just pushed each other and shoved each other. Well, the match was boring, but the crowd made it exciting. Oh my god, it's probably the best moment in the crowd tonight. I saw people on Facebook saying they should be the next inductee in the WWE Hall of Fame. That'd be funny. But they kind of deserve it because they made this wall very fucking exciting tonight. Especially with just the random ass chants like ole, 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 ECW, RVD. I mean, RVD may come back. Who knows? And like, chanting all the announcers, Michael Cole, it was like random ass chants about the match because the match sucked. There was only a few moments, but unfortunately, the moments didn't wake the crowd up because the crowd was bored by the match and chanting their asses off. It's kind of funny. A lot of chants, man. This match is just boring. They even chanted the referee's name. And Randy Savage, like I mentioned. But as Randy Orton and Sheamus were trying to get things going, especially with Sheamus on the offensive and ready to deliver this bro kick after delivering white noise to Orton after blocking an RKO, here comes the man they want to face. The Big Show. Basically causing, contest by beating the crap out of both of them, especially Randy Orton. And the table got a lot of movement. I thought the Spanish announce table got a lot of damage last night with Punk and Taker and Triple H and Lesnar. The main announce table got a lot of damage too tonight, as Big Show basically beat the crap out of Randy Orton, knocking him out and beating him outside the ring, ran him against the ring post. I thought he was going to chokeslam him through a table, but it never happened. Big Show basically left Orton laying. Who knows? Maybe Orton-Big Show feud coming up. So there you go. Just watching this Michigan choke their lead as I'm watching this video right now. So you may see me react to Michigan's win or loss during this review. Just be prepared for that. Now, I mentioned, of course, Biggie Langston made his in-ring debut tonight on Raw. Well, also making his in-ring debut tonight on Raw after his debut in Mania, finally wrestling. Fandango! Now, once again, the crowd, they were singing Fandango's theme song. That was kind of funny. It was, of course, Fandango against Kofi Kingston match. It was not exactly a match. It was kind of like a segment. He was beating the crap out of Kofi for a little bit, but then Jericho came out, causing disqualification by beating the crap out of Fandango, wanting revenge after losing to him last night. And like I mentioned about the announce table, once again, the announce table got damaged with Jericho shoving Fandango all over the ring, nailing the walls of Jericho at one point, and ending with a code breaker. I even heard the fans chanting Lion Salt, but they never got to do the Lion Salt. So there you go. Fandango wins by DQ with, of course, Jericho wanting revenge. Now on to our next interview with Paul Heyman, talking about Brock Lesnar wanting to fight tonight, but he won't fight for free. Well, we know why Lesnar won't fight. It was originally rumored that Brock Lesnar was going to beat the crap out of The Rock tonight. But if The Rock not there tonight, then rewrite the script. And I love the crowd reacting. Like, Paul's like, when it comes to Taker Punk wouldn't tell you what he has to say. Yeah, next week, boo. When The Rock came, and I didn't mention this during the opening segment, when they announced The Rock wasn't going to be there tonight, I had fans say, bullshit. And when Big Show speared, I think he speared Orton in that segment, I heard a holy shit chant. That was kind of funny to hear swear words tonight. Good crowd in New Jersey. I thought the crowd in Montreal when Jerry Lawler had a heart attack was a good crowd, but this is an awesome crowd tonight, badass crowd. So now on with a match that I kind of predicted was going to take place tonight, unfortunately. The match that got cut out of Mania last night, the match that should have not been on the main card, period. The mixed tag match involving Team World Scholars teaming up with the Bellatrons against the Funkadactyls and Tons of Funk. It was the match we knew was going to be stupid. It was just kind of stupid, kind of silly comedy with Brutus and Tenzai getting a double splash on Damien Sandow to get the victory. Not much action. It was kind of stupid, funny, stupid things. So there you go. Tons of Funk and Funkadactyls win. Let's move on. To, of course, the main event. Stupid ending to the main event, but it was a good ending to War. Mark Henry taking on John Cena. Of course, if Mark Henry were to win this match, he would get a future title shot against John Cena. Now, it was kind of like, with the crowd still singing Alberto Fandango's theme song. Even Cena tried to dance. And anyway, it was kind of a weird match. It was not much of a match either. It was kind of more like a segment as Cena was trying to overpower Mark Henry. Mark Henry even Cena was trying to do a FU at one point, but Mark Henry's weight overpowered him. They even beat each other down and even beat each other outside the ring. Even I thought Mark Henry was going to slam Cena outside the ring. They fought outside the ring, but then Cena beat Henry and tossed him against the post, knocking him out. And Cena won by countout. Like I said, that was the stupidest ending to the main event, having Cena win by countout. But the ending after the main event kind of made up for it. As Cena was celebrating his victory, Mark Henry came out to try to beat out Cena again with a Phoebe Moore chant for Ryback, whereas Henry was beating down Cena post-match. Here comes Ryback. Feed me more indeed. As Ryback came out to beat the crap out of Mark Henry, clearing him out of the ring. But then, he eyed Cena for a moment. And the crowd was like, beat him up, beat him up. But then Ryback extended his hand to Cena. I was like, oh, come on. And the crowd booed it too. So Cena and Ryback, who were tag partners at one point, and of course the man who Cena eliminated the Royal Rumble to get the title shot against The Rock and to win the fucking title last night. They apparently almost had a handshake and mutual respect for each other, but then as Cena was celebrating, Ryback, yes, beat the crap out of Cena, meat hook clotheslined him, and after that, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ryback shell shocked the hell out of Cena. And that's how we end Raw, with Ryback holding the WWE Championship. So possible scenarios. Rock against Cena again, and now Ryback against Cena. But Ryback will probably lose. I think Ryback's almost ready. I've said this for months. I don't think Ryback will be a champion. I don't think he's ready though. But I think he's got the crowd following, and now they beat the crap out of Cena. The crowd's on his side. And anyone wants I don't think the crowd cares who beats Cena. They just don't want Cena as champion. Like, that's what they should do. They just make Ryback the champion for like a week. And then have like The Rock beat him or something. Or, unfortunately, Cena to win again. So that's what they should do. Like, I remember when Edge won the title the first time in the New Year's Resolution 2006. He had the title for like 2 or 3 weeks, then lost it to Cena again in the Rumble. And they say, hey, Cena's not champion for a little while. Even though it's just for a little while. That's what they should do if they want Ryback to be champion. So there you go. That's how we end Monday Night Raw this evening. With Ryback, crap out of John Cena. Probably one of the best Raws I've seen in a while. Crowd was great. Post-Mania, this is probably almost better than Mania. We had moments that we thought was going to happen at Mania and should have happened at Mania and did happen tonight, especially Ziggler finally cashing in Money in the Bank. We'll see how he does as the new World Champion. And probably I bet you Alberto will get a rematch. I smell Extreme Rules rematch for that. So Extreme Rules possibilities. Alberto against Ziggler for the world title rematch. Rock against Cena 3 or Cena Ryback. And the 6-man tag, I'm predicting Taker and Team Hell No against the Shield. We'll see if they build the seed, especially if Extreme Rules not for another month. It's not till May 19th. So they got about a month to build up Extreme Rules instead of like 3 weeks. Let's see how they do with that. That is it for my WWE Raw review. I'll see you all later as Michigan is losing. I think Michigan may have blown their chance at the national championship, but who knows? With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all very much for watching. See you all later. Yeah.